All right, so let's take a look at how to do a more complex phylogeny. All right, so as you can see from last time, we don't have any individual that has ones all the way across, and so we see that it's kind of muddied a little bit more so than our previous example. But we're going to start off exactly the same way. So when we look at this phylogeny, we can see we still have A as our outgroup, zeros all the way across. All right, so that's where we always are going to start with that outgroup. And now what we want to do is we want to look at what does everybody have that A does not. And everybody has characteristic 2. So we're going to write in a characteristic 2 there. And so now what we have to do is now, instead of just looking at how many zeros and how many ones, we're actually going to start grouping these together. So, when we look at this, we see that C and D share characteristic 1 in common. They also share characteristic number 6 in common. We also see here that B and D share characteristic number 4 in common. All right. Now D and E share 3 in common, but because we have this grouping of C and E together, and we can also make another grouping with B and D, we're going to come back to that here at the end. All right, so now I'm going to separate this. So we're going to have this group here and another group down here. Okay, so and I'm going to make an offshoot here. All right, so let's put B and D here. It doesn't really matter whether you put B and D here and C and E here. You can flip those if you want to, but this is just the way I'm doing it on this one. All right. So remember, I said that B and D, so I'm grouping these together because B and D had this in common, and then I'm grouping these two together because C and E had 1 and 6 in common. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a mark here for 1 and 6 because I'm saying those guys have 1 and 6. All right? And then I'm going to put a mark here and I'm going to put 4 there because B and D have 1 or have 4 in common. All right? So now to separate these out a little further, we can see, right, looking back at characteristic 3. Characteristic 3, both D and E had that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little dash there for 3 there, and a little dash there for 3 there. So I'm saying E has 3, C does not, D has 3, B does not. But B has a characteristic that nobody else has, and that's characteristic 5. And so I'm going to put that there. All right? And so why I'm saying this with 3 is it's not separating D and E that way is because C and E share 2 characteristics where D and E only share 1, and also B and D share this characteristic. So what I'm saying with 3 here is this is a characteristic that evolved more than once.